guest today on Let's Talk Jonesboro is Commissioner of State Lands, Tommy Land. Tommy, welcome to Jonesboro.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to be here with you.
Well, and you are here with us, and it's an honor for Jonesboro, and I know the mayor has been looking forward to your visit here. Before we talk about what you're doing here, tell us about what you do and what your office does for Arkansas.
Okay. The Commissioner of State Lands office, probably 70% of our time is spent dealing with tax delinquent real estate. We deal with all the tax delinquent real estate in the state of Arkansas. We conduct the auctions. We do the research on those properties. So that takes a great deal of time. We also have a division in our office that deals with mineral rights. So we deal with mineral rights that belong to the state of Arkansas. We also deal with riverbed issues. If there is a obstruction or debris lodged in the riverbed of a navigable river, the Land Commissioner's Office has the responsibility of that. I know last summer there was a problem in the Spring River, and a sinkhole opened up and a whirlpool formed. It was the Land Commissioner's Office. It was our responsibility to resolve that issue.
How do you resolve that issue?
Well, what they ended up doing was they ended up taking a track hoe into the river and collapsing the roof of the channel. And that did away with the sinkhole, and that did away with the whirlpool.
Okay.
So it was a short distance. It wasn't a very long distance.
So it wasn't a man-made issue.
No, it was a naturally occurring issue.
Okay.
Yeah. And so we've resolved those issues. Sometimes debris gets lodged in riverbed of a navigable river. It's our responsibility to take care of that. And probably the smallest division of our office, but one of the most interesting, is we take care of historical documents dealing with land, real estate. We have in our office, we have the original survey notes of the person who surveyed for the Louisiana Purchase in 1830.
Is that right?
Yes. So very interesting part there.
That is interesting, and I wanted to ask you about that. But now, why would we have was it negotiated in parcels, or why would that be in Arkansas?
Well, actually, normally when you think about the Louisiana Purchase, you would think, where would it start? Louisiana.
Right.
Actually,
well, it was all Louisiana.
Yeah.
We were Louisiana, right?
The Louisiana Purchase, the survey for the Louisiana Purchase actually started in Arkansas, down in southeast Arkansas. In fact, Arkansas has a state park called the Louisiana Purchase State Park. And it's a very small state park, and there's an elevated walkway that you take from the parking area, and you go to the end, and there's a monument at the end, and that monument is the beginning point of survey for the Louisiana Purchase.
Is that right?
Yeah. So that's very interesting. One other thing that's extremely interesting is that survey began in 1830.
Right.
Okay, they went back and using GPS technology, they wanted to determine just how close that survey mark was where it was supposed to be. And when you think about 1830 in the middle of a swamp, how do you survey it?
Mm-hmm. It
was 2 inches off. That is, to me, that is just an amazing thing.
There were geniuses ahead of us.
I tell you.
I can't understand how you do it now, and I'm sure there may be a laser or something involved in a drone or
use GPS, a great deal of
GPS.
GPS.
All right. Yeah. Well, I guess they didn't use GPS.
No, I think they took a shot off the stars, and then they measured the distance with a chain, and the chain, I believe, was 66 feet.
Wow.
And I can tell you that's moving a chain a lot when you're thinking about the Louisiana Purchase.
That is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, so that is the interesting part in your office.
Yeah.
Well, now you're here to visit Jonesboro, and one of the things you're doing here is looking at our Veterans Village project.
Yes.
So what interested you about that, and tell us what you think about it?
Well, first of all, I have a great appreciation for the freedoms that we have in this country. And the reason that we have those freedoms is because men and women over the years have been willing to sacrifice their very lives to preserve that freedom. I look at our veterans as someone that we need to honor and someone we need to have respect for. And when I first heard about the Veterans Village here, I thought, what a great concept. I wanted to come over and visit with the mayor and get a good idea of how it evolved, how the concept evolved. I travel the state. In fact, our office travels the state all the time. We hold a real estate auction in all 75 counties every year. So we travel to every county in the state of Arkansas. And I'm traveling with the auction team as often as I can. I try to visit mayors in all the counties, county judges, county officials. I would like to try to spread this idea around the state, and perhaps other cities will look at Jonesboro and be encouraged to step out and perhaps build a veterans village in their community, some way that they can honor their veterans and be a help to them. You know, the veterans village concept, you know, the idea is helping to integrate service people back into their community. Give them an opportunity for education if they wish to get a certificate or a degree. So that's one of the things we'll be focusing on is communities around the state that have a 2 or 4 year college. We'll be encouraging them and of course referring to Jonesboro everywhere we go in the state of Arkansas as a pilot program, I guess you could say. And so we certainly intend to do that.
Well, something that we spoke about earlier with Mayor Perrin was something that I think is both incredibly obvious and often overlooked, that we talked about when you see pictures of soldiers in service, we see children. We're grown men.
Yes.
We see children.
Yes.
And when people say, why is it veterans are homeless? I'm sure there's many layers to that question, but the first one is we have sent 18 to 20 plus year olds off to war who have not established themselves in a normal, what we call contemporary lifestyle.
Correct.
They have been serving their country. It's more than just a phrase, is it not?
Yes, it is.
And
Yes.
so, what are your thoughts on a veterans village is basically for homeless veterans, and this gives them an opportunity. What type of needs does a serviceman or woman need when they come home?
You know, I tell you, one of the things I see is you know, when you're in the service, you're part of a close-knit family, a close-knit community. And sometimes when veterans come home, they have a hard time assimilating back into what we call established society or whatever. You know, I see the Veterans Village as a great opportunity for them to still have that continuity of community. But then through going to school or work or whatever they should be doing, the opportunity also to build a bigger community for their lives. So I see that as extremely important. Like you said, you know, young men and women go off, serve their country, fight for our freedoms. Sometimes they see things and experience things that are hard to imagine. I think it is an outstanding effort by the city of Jonesboro to reach out to those people and to try to help them assimilate back into this community. And I can tell you, veterans bring a great skill set. They've been trained, and they can be a great asset to your community.
They have the work ethic.
Yes.
Yeah, it's incredible. I think it means something as a father of a veteran to me. I've certainly served in no service, but as a father, I have learned the time that's involved in reacquainting yourself with typical civilian life.
Right.
And I think we went, as several of us from the city went to Kansas City and saw their veterans village, and what a great concept they've got that was started by veterans, and we thought we could duplicate that as our first effort to help the homeless. Is your department at all involved in homeless work?
Not directly. We deal with tax delinquent real estate. So one of the things that I'd like to see brought out to our veterans is the opportunity to invest in property and real estate through the Land Commissioner's auction. But also we do have a donation program where we work with city and county government for a purpose that might have for community, for their community, whether it would be a park or whether it be Veterans Village or something like that, where we could actually donate tax delinquent real estate to the city. And so we'd certainly be interested in speaking with city councils and mayors about that issue. And you know, hopefully that would help resolve some of the homeless issues.
Right. That would be a fabulous thing for all the cities of Arkansas. We'd love to be something that catches on and with other places.
Oh, yes.
Tell me what you saw in visiting with our mayor and looking at where we've got our Veterans Village set up. What you saw that you like, that you feel like you want to share with others.
You know, I would say probably the vision of what can be accomplished. I think that's the very first thing. I think when communities have a vision and have a desire to reach out and give a helping hand to veterans, I think they will figure out everything they need to figure out to get the job done. But I also want to share your methods and your direction. You know, Jonesboro's a beautiful community and a growing community, and perhaps maybe that plan won't work for a smaller community or a community that's not growing. But hopefully we'll just share that vision and encourage other communities to step up and see what they can do.
Well, and that can form it can serve us too in Jonesboro, because we can grow a amorphous concept of what a Veterans Village needs to be, and we might learn some things as you go along and that you can share with us down the road.
You bet, I believe so. You know, as I've visited with mayors and county judges across the state of Arkansas, you know, I can tell you there is a great respect for veterans.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate that about our state.
Well, I do too, and we can't thank you enough for coming to Jonesboro to visit with us.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you.